on the living who, as a result of an act, commit a moral evil in which their salvation is at risk. They are the ones who are truly in darkness, and they need a light. And they are the ones who are in error, and they need the truth. Many times they are the ones who are without hope, and they need someone to bring the hope of Christ to them. And so we bring the light, we bring the truth, we bring the hope and the love of God to the people who work in these places, to the people who are going there. And if there is a change of heart, a conversion of heart, the children will live. And the people who do this, even if they actually so frequently, they are convinced by the lie of the world that an abortion will bring back yesterday, and everything will be like it was, and you get on with your life again. And so often they want to believe that. And in my case, you see, this is okay. And so what happened is, after they do it, they're like, I make the comparison between the two thieves at the foot of the cross. Both of them were told in Matthew, they cursed Jesus. And we're told in Luke that one of them, observing Jesus, saying, Father, forgive them, beholding Mary and John and the woman at the foot of the cross praying, his heart was converted. And he believed before he died. He asked if he'd be part of the kingdom. But we're told that the soldier, the centurion, he didn't believe until after Jesus was dead. He put the lance into the side of Jesus. And then he truly said, truly this man was the Son of God. What have we done? And many women going to an abortion this morning, some will believe because of our presence, like the good thief seeing Mary and John and Jesus and us, and they'll keep the child. But many will, it's not until they experience the loss of the child. In the beginning they say, oh, thanks be to God, my womb is empty. I can get on with my life again. That's the lie of the world. And then in the recovery room, 20 minutes later, the same people will say, my God, my womb is empty. It was a child of God. What have they done to me? I have been exploited. And then they need you, they need Christ. And so we go not only to save the children, we go to bring this hope and forgiveness of God, and to bring Christ's unconditional, everlasting love to them and his mercy, that they may change. You know, in the media these days, Pope John Paul II wrote an encyclical called The Gospel of Life, Evangelium Vitae. It was published in March 25th, 1995. And I recommend to you to read sections 68 to 77, because it's very apropos for what's happening at the present time. John Paul II speaks about the tyranny of the democratic majority. You know, we have fallen into a situation where people are being told that you have to allow everybody to have freedom, and a freedom of choice. It's the only way a pluralistic or democratic society can exist, is everybody should be able to do what they want, and the law should not restrict. And Paul VI says, wait a second now. There's what's called objective truth. And in objective truth, if something is a crime against humanity, whether it's done by an unscrupulous dictator, or an act of tyranny in a communist society, or in a democratic society, it is done by way of a majority vote. It's a crime against humanity. It doesn't change. The Holocaust was a crime against humanity. It doesn't change. And of course, they're taking the innocent human life to the point now of over 50 million in our own country. That's an incredible crime against humanity. And it doesn't make any difference if it's done by an unscrupulous dictator or by a majority vote in a so-called democracy. And the Pope makes the point, you cannot accept that. You must reject it. That democracy is not an end in itself, it's a means And like all, it is to be limited and restricted by Judaic Christian principles. And if it isn't contradictory to them, then you cannot simply say to be a good citizen, we must allow this, we must allow that. And it has come about that we are allowing crimes against humanity in the name of democracy. And you know, I've been in Mexico twice within the last 3 or 4 months, and I'm going back again. Because in Mexico, they're at a very delicate point of they're trying to impose on all of Mexico abortion. And the majority of people don't want it. You know, we hear terms like, oh, the Constitution is a living, breathing document. You cannot just treat it like it was written so many years ago and you, like a dead, you know, you have to take it alive and bring it alive. And so the same thing is being used in Mexico as was used here. Here in our own country, as you know, what's more important in this next election, as in Mexico, is not the economy, although everybody says that. No, it's who chooses the next judges. We know that we have what we call strict constructionist judges and activist judges. And a strict constructionist judge does what? A strict constructionist judge, he says, what was the original intent of the people who wrote the Constitution? And is this law in conformity with it or not? If it is, then it's constitutional. If it's not, well, it's unconstitutional. And if you want this law, well, then it's not my job as a judge, it's the job of Congress. You must pass an amendment approved by 2/3 of Congress and 3/4 of the state. The people must approve it. We have these different branches of government. But if you come to a point where you have judicial tyranny, where the judge doesn't respect what the original intent is and starts to legislate, what does he do? We call it an activist judge. An activist judge basically is saying, what do you want? What do you want? And you say, well, I want to kill my child. I want gay rights. I want contraceptives. I want euthanasia. Okay, we'll find something to give that to you. And so they look into the Constitution and they look for a word or a phrase that will give this right to you. You say, wait a second, how can you do this? Don't worry about it. We'll find the phrase. And the irony is, of course, is they have found the basis for contraceptives, for the judge that passed, if you remember, in California recently.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
Second solemn mystery is the scourging at the pillar. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Lead all souls to heaven, especially those most in need of thy mercy.
Full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
Be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit.
As it was in the beginning, now and shall be, world without end.
O my Jesus, forgive us now.